We will now continue to build the spreadsheet that we're working on. We want to do month 2, 3, and 4. Right. Again, we've completed the financials for month 1, and now we go to month 2. And remember, again, we do them in the order: income statement first, then cash flow direct next, balance sheet next, and then indirect cash flow statement. If you do them in this order, you will not get confused. Okay, if you do them out of this order, it's very confusing. Right, so let's start. We want to do the income statement first, as we said. So month 2, we're going to sell $175,000 in shoes. Right, that's a variable. We typed it in. So we painted green, or any color that you choose. We've already linked this to this through this point 70, so all we have to do is just drag this over. Is this 70% of this? Yes, it is. So we know this is going right. And then we have our net income. Net income, we've already done this formula, so we drag this over. Is this correct? 175,000 minus 122,500, 52,500. Yes, it is. So we are fine with our income statement. Next place we go to is the statement of cash flow direct. Right? And again, as I said, once we finish with month 2, we have month 2. If we have the month 2 cells correct, if we have all of the cells correct, we will be able to drag everything over. All the formulas have to be correct in order for us to do that. We get to month 2, we can get the formulas correct, and we'll be able to drag it over through month 4. All right. So we get to first level here, beginning balance. Where do we get that from? Well, again, we can drag these items over. We want to always be able to drag over. Use what we've already done. This 3,149,000 is equal to that 3,149,000, and that's what we want. The cash from customers, this represents sales in the second month. Sales that we're getting in the second month, cash that we've collected. Drag that over. 175,000 is correct. That's what we got from here. So the formulas are working correctly. We did not buy any shoes in the second month, so we don't use this, we don't move this over. And we haven't taken any loans or any sold in stock. So we just now drag this formula over. Okay, so we have our statement of cash flow direct correct for month 2. Okay, now we go to the balance sheet. What we should try to do is see what we can drag over. So let's live dangerously and try to drag the whole thing over. Okay. Dragging this over to month 2. Hold on. Okay. Now, you can see a lot of it did come over, and it came over okay, but there's some things there where there's a problem. And to do this correctly, we need to be able to recognize where we have a problem. Negative inventory, that's a problem. So this formula needs to be fixed. Right? So this number in month 1, that was equal to our beginning balance, which was this, less cost of goods sold. So this number in month 2 will be this amount, this balance, less cost of goods sold. So that's what we need to finish or fix. So let's fix that now. So that'll be equal to that balance, less cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is already negative, so we can just add cost of goods sold to it. And we get get 773,500. Okay, so that looks correct. Okay, so we go to the next line, loans payable. This, we're out of balance though. We're out of balance, and how much are we out of balance by? We're out of balance, it looks like, by 45,000. And we're out of balance because balance sheet is a cumulative report, and we haven't accumulated our retained earnings. So this is retained earnings for month 1. This is retained earnings for month 2, but this should be retained earnings for both month 1 and 2 because it's cumulative, and that didn't happen. So let's make that happen now. So that number will equal that plus month 2's net income. Okay. And now they agree. Our balance sheet agree. Total assets agree with liabilities and equity. All right, so that's our balance sheet completed. Our balance sheet completed, income statement completed, statement of cash flow direct completed, and cash flow or statement of cash flow indirect. Let's see if we can just drag all of this over. We always want to see what we can do the easy way. So if we drag this over, okay, proof of the pudding is this equals that. Our cash flows are correct. Net income, correct net income, correct change in inventory, 3,324,000 is correct. Okay, so we have month 2 done, and month 2 is correct. Now, as I said, once we get the variables in, and we have all of our formulas correct in month 2, we can drag all of this information over as many months as we need to. And we only need 2 more months, but we could drag it out 100 months if we had to. Okay, so let's get our variables into the income statement. So in month 3, we're going to sell $200,000 worth of shoes. And in month 4, we're going to sell 225,000 shoes. Okay. Both of these are variables, so we'll paint them green or whatever color you like. And we can take our cost of goods sold and our net income and drag both of those over. Okay, and this looks like it's correct. Looks like it's working properly. Okay, so this is our income statement. Next place that we go to is our statement of cash flow direct. Highlight the whole thing. Drag it all over. Done. We're done. You can see the numbers are pulling from the right place. Balances are done. Okay. Let's go to balance sheet. Highlight month 2. Drag it over. And we're done. And we know we're done because, first of all, the balance sheet balances and the numbers in it are coming from the right place. Cash is the right number, 3,749,000. That's our cash number. And then we go to the indirect cash flow statement. Highlight the whole thing. Drag it over. And we're done. Cash flows are correct. Cash flows balance, 3,749,000, 3,749,000. And we're done. Okay. This is how Excel spreadsheets that are in this column and row formation, this is how they are done. And after you get formulas to work correctly, you can drag them over. Then you don't have to put in the formulas over and over and over again. Okay, so let's go to the summary now. It talks about the summary. Right? summary for the balance sheet is equal to the last month. Link that, and then we just drag it down, and we have our summary. Okay. We know we're okay because the balance is equal 1 million. Get to our income statement. Income statement now is the total of each month. Okay, so we do sum, then total it all across, 750,000. So how do we know we're okay? Because we sold 750,000 pairs of $750,000 worth of shoes. We know that this is the right amount. And now we can just drag this down. Okay, so this is our summary of our income statement. How do we know we're correct here? Because our net income is equal to our retained earnings. Net income equals retained earnings. And we go to our direct cash flow statement. Start with our beginning balance. Beginning balance for the cash flow statement was 0. That's what we started out with. So we apply it to that. The remainder are the sums across. We total these across. So equal sum. Close parentheses. $750,000 worth of shoes, and that agrees to our sales. These are collected all in cash. Drag this down, and now we have a problem because we did not pick up this, and we should have picked up this. So let's go back and do this correctly. I made an error. So let's go back and go to our sum across, and what happened was we did not take this across far enough. If I hit the F2 key, you can see that it didn't include all of this. So how do we fix this? Well, it's a common problem when we have cells that are not correct. So we can fix it like this. This is the easy way of fixing it. Just stretch this across. So now it includes everything. And now when we drag this down, picks up the loan and the sale of stock. Now, as far as the totals go, we cannot total this across because we would be double counting. So what we do is just sum this down, and summing this down is done using AutoSum. You can use AutoSum for this. On that, 3,749,000 is correct. And now we get to the indirect cash flow statement. And in the same way, our beginning balance is equal to 0. Other balances are, now here's a shortcut. We have a formula in this that is the sum across. So you can copy this formula and copy it down to here rather than duplicating this. So if we go here and we say Control C, why that happened? Just do Control C, copy, and then we go to this and we do Control V, and now that formula has been copied down to here, and now it's adding all of this across. And then we just drag this down, make sure that we pick up these, and again, like above. We can't add these, of course. We have to just sum this down. Do auto sum here. And this is done. So it's 3,749,000, 3,749,000. We know that we are correct, our cash flows are correct, and we are good to go. Okay. We have everything for our 4 months and our summary.